Hi everyone, this is Ginger with Gingerberry Creek, and today's video tutorial is going to be about how you glue your head down, I've got my tail attached but I've got to glue it, and then gluing the bow in place once you have it put together. So that is, and then the feet also, I'm going to show you how I go about gluing the feet onto your primitive doll. So I've got my hot glue gun here. I use a smaller style glue gun. That way I have better control of it. And I always make sure I have a extra little glue stick just in case I need it during this. So in the pattern it'll give you the written instructions on where to glue exactly, but I wanted to bring this tutorial and show you how I go about doing it and how the instructions are written. So I have made my bow and attached it and trimmed the ends, and now it's time to glue it in place. And so what I like to do is, once I have it where I need it, I pull back the bow, the back part of the bow here, you know, the scarf, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue here on to the top part of the body, as well as to a little bit on the head there. And then I'm going to take my bow, this scarf part, and I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to place it so that it holds it in place. Okay, so that's how I do it on the back side. And then what I'm going to do on the front side is, as you can see, the head is a little floppy, so I like to go ahead and glue down the ribbon on here, underneath here on the front, to hold the bow in place. So add a little glue, and then, you know, push the bow down like that. Okay, give it just a minute, you know, to set and dry a little bit. So, you know, that's why it says, you know, hold till dry and secure on the pattern. So but once you have it in place, now it's time to go ahead and glue this head down, because you don't want it flopping back and forth like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place some glue on this side of the head and then press it to the body. Make sure that your ends are out of the way. You don't want to get those in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and bring it forward and press it down and hold it. So I can hold it in place. And then I like to, you know, try to clean up the little glue strings and stuff once I've held this in place for a minute, just long enough to allow it to dry, because you don't want, when you're working with another part of it, you don't want it to, you know, pull back apart. So there we go. So that's holding that down. So now I've got my tail attached, and I need to have it held up against the body, you know, because you don't want it flopping back and forth. So the first thing I do on the tail is I'm going to add some glue right down here at the base of the tail. And then I'm going to bring the tail up. And at the same time, as I bring it up and bring it over, I'm going to look towards the front here, make sure it's in the right position that I want it. It is. So now I'm just going to hold it. I'm just going to hold it there, allow it to dry for a minute so that it'll be nice and secure before we glue a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm gonna kind of have to hold it back a little bit like this. And now what I'm going to do is glue up and into this area right here. It will tell you on your pattern exactly where to glue to, but you can also see where does that hit your body, your primitive doll body, and then that's where you would want to stop. You don't want to go too far up and then have a bunch of glue that you can see. So I'm actually going to go right up into this stripe right here. So I'm just putting it down the center because as I press it, it's going to squish out because I'm going to press it against the body. So there it is. And now I'm just going to bring that up and press against my body and hold it. And again, I'm just holding it long enough to allow it to kind of cool a little bit and be nice and dry and secure before I go to the next item to glue, because I don't want it, you know, pulling apart and everything. Now, the longer you let it sit, the more it will harden, and then it will really become secure. So, you know, make sure you, right in the beginning, you have a chance to kind of shift things and stuff, but once that glue takes a hold, you need to, you know, it's gonna be where it's at. So, all right, so that is good. So now my tail is in place, and so now it's time to put the feet on the front. And what I will do is I will set my body upright in this position and then audition them down here at the bottom. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to kind of hold it down so that you can see what I'm doing. But if you're doing it, then you want to set it upright because you want the feet to kind of be touching your surface when you're gluing them. All right, but I'm going to set them down here and kind of push in a little bit so I can, there we go. So that's the position I probably am going to have them in. I'm just going to take the one, I'm going to add some glue right here where this sewn slit is, a little bit down the foot, right there in the center. And now I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. Make sure that it's in the right position, and now I'll set it back down and hold it. Just hold it for a few seconds so it will adhere. And now, again, I'm going to stand it back up a little bit, make sure I have it in the right position. Going to add some glue here right where the sewn slit is, and then down the foot a little bit. I kind of smeared around a little bit there to spread it out, and now I'm gonna set it back upright just for a second to give my placement. There's my placement, and now I'm gonna set it down and hold it. If you happen to get a clump of glue down here, you can take your finger and kind of run your finger or something along there and try to get any excess that there may be right there. Just hold that for a few seconds so that it can adhere, and then it is done. So all the pieces are now, the head is glued down and in place, the bow is glued and in place, my tail is glued and in place, see? And my feet are glued and in place. So that is how you glue your pieces to your primitive doll. That is how I like to do it. And thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my other tutorials that I have to offer. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Bye.